Well, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to this webinar presented by Music Teacher National Association. The title of this webinar is Competition Piano Repertoire by Black Composers. I am so excited to be presenting this music for you today. And also to announce that Ebony Music Incorporated, which is a nonprofit organization that promotes piano music by Black composers and promotes Black pianists, that we are coming together with MTNA, and we will be sponsoring a prize at the national level for the junior, for the senior, and for the young artists, piano contestants, for the best piece by a Black composer. So in our efforts to do that, we really wanted to start looking really deeply at this repertoire, this fantastic repertoire. And that's what you will see today. We'll be listening to some music. I'll also be discussing about the ways that we should be approaching this music. Yes, as teachers, yes, as students, and yes, as performers as well. And really, the music is always at the forefront of this repertoire. And the icing on the cake is what I like to tell everyone, is that it's also by a Black composer. So what we have all realized, and I'm sure you all have as well, is that there's been such a fantastic wave of scholarship, honestly, of really creating more inclusivity by underrepresented composers within our literature. Black composers also being one of those. And I think there are so many different ways to do this, right? When we're starting to look at how can we create more diverse representation. We can look at it in the pedagogical way. We can look at it in programming. But I also think it's really special and unique to start looking about how would we evaluate this music? How are we talking about this music in a scholarly way as well? And I think when we come to the table with the understanding that I'm using this material specifically for competitions, it really creates a different type of dynamic and also different type of conversations as we start incorporating this music into our literature. So what our organization has done, Ebony Music, when we were talking about how would we go about discussing and putting together music that is appropriate for competitions, right? Apart from this music being by Black composers, what do we all as teachers look for when we think about giving a student a piece specifically for the purpose of adjudication or competitions? I think that some of the biggest aspects is the piece going to be helpful to showcase the musical and technical aspect that allows the student to shine, right? That's what we want to do as teachers. Finding that specific repertoire that really highlights the wow moments of our students. We also were really thinking about, when selecting this music that we'll share today, is understanding that this music, in many ways, it needs to be compact, right? When we're thinking about repertoire for a competition, we're understanding that this is one piece, part of a larger program. So is that one selection able perhaps to quickly unfold those type of musical or technical ideas rather quickly? And also, how does that one piece help the overall bigger program? And then finally, which is probably one of my favorite aspects of competition repertoire, is the student's personality able to shine through? Do you know the piece well enough, and do you know your student well enough to tie those two aspects together to really have that wow moment on the competition stage? So these were all of our kind of guiding factors when we were creating and really looking at the music by Black composers specifically for competitions.